everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and I am going to today make the masculine version of the gift folios. And they're, I just called it masculine because it actually looks kind of steampunk. I've got the mechanical, and I've got a trumpet and blueprints and kind of, I guess you could call it masculine colors, but it could certainly work for a man or a woman. So I started cutting these out. So in the kit, and I did a feminine version yesterday, but I'm going to show you as if you have not seen any of it. I started to cut these out. I always cut my pages out and then leave them kind of joined to the page so I can tell what they were. So you get all the pieces of the color, and then you've got pages like this for the tissue box folio, and then you've got these pages with the little square ones to make the folio that goes in a junk journal. So I am going to turn the camera off and cut these pages out, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've cut out my calendar, and then also for later, on the one that you make out of a Kleenex box, you also make a notepad on one side. So you need to cut some plain paper or tea stain paper, whatever you have, in the exact same size as these. Just a few sheets, however many you want, and that'll be for later. I'm going to start with this one that will go into a junk journal. Okay, I managed to come upstairs without printing off the page I needed, so I went back and printed it, and I'm ready to do this. So this page, this is what it looks like. I've kind of left the scraps so you could see it. This is the page you want to start with if you want to make the one for the junk journals. And you've got your little pocket, and then you've got these two pockets. You want to cut that apart. And then I'm going to take a 2-inch punch, and then this piece. And this piece will, there's a dotted line here that you'll want to fold it on. And then I'm going to take my ink, vintage photo ink, do all the edges. So if you're making a journal for a guy, maybe your son or your husband or whoever, this would make a nice little addition to it. They can keep track of their Bible reading. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use the scoring tool. I learned my lesson. Sometimes I think it's too much trouble to get the scoring tool out, but then when I try to fold it without it, it's like, I'm spoiled. This is so much nicer. Okay. No muss, no fuss. I went a long time fighting the scoring board, thinking I don't need a scoring board. That's for sissies. But I have to say it's really nice. Makes a much nicer fold line. Okay, so there is the base of it. Oh, might as well ink it all while I'm here. And of course, these aren't dated for any certain year, so you can make these again and again, as many times as you want, and give them away. Especially the other one that you make with the Kleenex box. And this is very easy. We're going to, let's see. And this is the top. Okay, this is the top of the calendar. So you're going to fold this in half, and actually it would have been nicer if I'd had lines on it for the scoring tool, but since I didn't, I'm just going to do it that way. And then you're going to just fold each side in to the middle. And that's going to be the top of your calendar. And only one side shows, so. And then I'm going to use a crocodile to punch my holes in it. So you're going to take your calendar, make sure you've got all of the months in the right order. And this goes in like that. Push it all the way up. And then I am going to eyeball it because that's just how I roll. But you can measure it if you want to. And I'm just going to guesstimate. That looks like a good spot. And then I'm going to try to get it in exactly the same place on the other side. Something like that. And then you can use ribbon or string or whatever you want to tie this. I've got some twine, since it's a masculine. Got some little twine I got at Hobby Lobby. I don't know why I'm trying to keep this on it. I think I'll just take it off. All right. And I want it like that, and then tie it. So maybe that much. So, try this again. Push that through. And, whoa, I think I got way too much. Oh well, I'll trim it. Okay, and then you just tie it in a bow. And then trim it off. However it wants to lay. Shorten those up just a little bit. Like that. And then we'll glue it in just a minute. So I'm going to take my 2-inch punch and punch a little notch in the pockets just so they read as a pocket. So when somebody gets it as a gift, they know what's going on. It's a little hint. And the same on this one. And then ink it a little bit. Make it show. And then I'm going to take my art glitter glue. Actually, let's see. Do I want to fold this out? Because you're going to use that little tab to glue it into your journal. And punch this too. Where'd my punch? Oh, right in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to punch just a little notch. Like that. Glue this on these two sides. I think I need to clean my nozzle out on my glue. What do you think? Good grief. Okay, so I'm going to glue that. And then pick, let's see, one side's going to show, and one side you're going to glue this on, and it'll cover up what's underneath. So I'm going to probably do it on this side. And then this side will show a little bit. And so you glue your pockets here. So I'm going to go ahead, see if I can get my glue to work a little bit better. I am so bad about keeping these glue bottles clean. There, it's a little bit better. Okay, and then you can put it all the way to the bottom if you want to, or move it up just slightly. And then glue this one all the way to the bottom. Glue on 3 sides. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 pockets. Flip it over, and I'm going to use my, hopefully, my Fabri-Tac because of the rope. I don't know that that matters. I feel like this is a little bit stronger glue. So I'm going to put this on this a good amount. And this will go over that divot I cut, but that's okay. I'm going to let it go to the bottom and then bring it out to this edge as far as you can, because you don't want to bind up where it's going to go into your journal. And you just glue that in. And that's it. So you've got this on this side and your 3 pockets, and you just glue that onto a page in your journal. Very simple. Now we're going to go to the one that's made with a Kleenex box. Okay, I've got all these pages pretty much cut out. So you're going to take your Kleenex box apart, pull it apart at the seam, and you're going to cut off, you're going to tear the plastic off this window. And then take some scissors and cut off the tabs on all of the pieces. Throw those away or keep them for whatever other projects you have. And then I'm going to tear this excess paper off of here so it doesn't stick up any more than it needs to. And then you cut off the back panel. And so these fold in, and I'm going to fold them back just to make it a little bit more flexible. Okay, and then one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit. Let me show you. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me cut out. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut the oval out of my, here it is. This piece right here. I'm going to use the X-Acto knife. I've got my little cutting board from Dollar Tree. That has really been handy. And I'm just going to go around. If you don't want to use an X-Acto knife, you can use scissors. Just punch a hole in the middle and cut your way out to the outside and go around it like that. Okay, so what I was going to tell you is if you have a Kleenex box, be sure you lay it over the hole and make sure that the hole in the cardboard is small, is rather larger than this, so it doesn't show. This one doesn't show, but I'm going to, just to be safe, I'm going to go in and cut just a little bit off. And don't worry about it being even or perfect. Just cut. And if you have a square hole or something that's showed, just take a pencil and draw where it shows and then cut on the outside of that, so you make sure you get rid of whatever's showing through your window. This is going to go here, and then your acetate will go, actually, I want it to go in between here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this here. Now this got kind of a weird crinkle in it, so I'm going to cut it back because I don't need it to be, it only needs to be a little bit bigger than the window. So I'm going to cut some excess off here. Hopefully I don't cut it too small. Okay. And then I'm going to use, I'm never sure what to use for acetate, but I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. I think that works okay. Okay, so I'm going to push that down. I'm going to go ahead and glue this over it with, actually, well, I'm going to use my glitter glue. I might use a little bit of Fabri-Tac on the acetate. Glue overkill. It's not like this is going through a hurricane or anything. And then decide whichever way you want it to be. I guess it looks like, whoops, this side up. And it's a little bit bigger than your than your cardboard. At least it is on mine. So we're going to trim that down. So what I do is just trim it with scissors around wherever it sticks out. And on the edges, I fold the tab back and cut it because you don't want anything sticking out there or it won't fold nice. So just trim that off. And we're going to put washi tape there in a minute anyway. So if you cut it a little bit short, it won't hurt anything. That looks like that's right on there. Okay. All right. And then we can go ahead and cover the flaps. So you've got 4 pieces that are exactly the same size, and those are to cover your flaps. So you can pick whichever ones you want on the inside and the outside. Doesn't really matter. Okay. I just noticed I meant to change that to masculine. It says feminine tissue folio. Ignore that. Okay, and here's the other page. Whoops. Almost threw that away. I would have been looking for that. Okay, so there's the 4 pieces for the flaps. So I am just going to put glue. And you're going to trim it back a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that white line off. So I'm going to put all the extra at that one end. And this will be covered, so don't worry about that. Put it right up to the fold and not over the fold so it doesn't hinder it at all. And I'll go ahead and glue this one on. Set right up against the fold. And then I'll go ahead and trim this off. I am using Kleenex boxes from Sam's Club. I'm guessing they're all the same size. If they're not, if yours ends up being a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, if it's smaller, just cut the paper down. And if it's bigger, you can always fill the gaps in with washi tape on all the edges. So that's the cool thing about junk journal stuff, is you just make it work. Okay, so there is that. So now we're gonna, oh, I see, I did what I told you not to do. I got it too close to the fold there. I'm gonna use an X-Acto knife and just try to trim through the one layer of paper. Okay, that should help. Yeah, that folds better. Okay, and now I'm going to glue these outside ones on. And I'm going to glue it so that it's off the fold, so you don't bind it. Get it right to the fold and not past it. Ooh, didn't get far enough down. Hold on. Art glitter glue does not like to be pulled up, so let me add just a little bit more glue. Try that again. I'm going to get, actually, I'm going to get the top, I think, and try to line that up so that I trim this beige off at the bottom. I think that'll look better. So see, I've left a gap here, but I'm going to use washi tape, so that'll work. And then the other side. And then this one, same deal. Right up to the fold. And then scissors to cut the excess. Okay. And then you're going to want to ink the edges as you go. Let's see. Some of them are going to have washi tape on them, like this one. So I'm not going to bother to ink that. And you can use washi tape on these edges if you want to. kind of think do I want to? I think I might on this one. I didn't on the last one, but I think I might on this one. I picked out a washi tape that looks sort of masculine, and so I'm just going to tape this inside here. And this one over here. And then we have one more panel to do, and that is the back panel. And it's going to glue on as a pocket, and you'll be able to put a picture down inside here, a photo or lettering or something behind the window. And so you don't have to put anything on that background if you don't want to. Or if you want to, you could put a piece of extra paper, scrap paper of some sort. That would probably work. So I'll go ahead and do that, just so it's not this brown cardboard. Hopefully I can get this where it needs to be. Okay, so that will be like that. And you know what I forgot to do? I did not ink around my window, which it would have looked a lot better if I had inked it. Might be able to do that here in a minute. But meanwhile, this panel, flip it over, and you're going to cut out this last page to cover that. You can hear my dogs down at the bottom of the steps. It's like I don't let them up here all the time because they're noisy. So they get as close as they possibly can, just the bottom of the steps. And the closer to dinner time it gets, the sort of louder they get, dropping little hints. Okay, so this is the pocket. And so figure out which way you want as your up side. And I'm going to take my little notch, my little circle cutter, and make a notch so we can see that it's a pocket, and ink it. And this is going to be taped. Well, I don't know if it's going to be taped. I'm going to go ahead and ink it. Washi tape on the edges is totally your call. You can never go wrong with washi tape. It always looks cute. Okay, so figure out which way you want this to be up. And then this is going to have a pocket over it. So however you want that to be. Like that. I think I want it down here. Too much machinery if I don't do it that way. Okay, so glue this on. And I did the feminine one. I don't know if you saw the video, but I glued this panel on upside down. Just happened to catch it at the last minute. Managed to pull it loose and redo it. So just be aware when you put your pocket on that there is a definite direction at that point, top and bottom. Okay. Okay, trim away the excess. And let's see, this will shut like this. This will glue on like so. And you're going to glue it on 3 edges so that you can put something in this side edge. So leave that one side unglued. And I'm going to clamp it for just a second. And these 2 pieces now are going to be the tops of your calendar and then the notepad. So you're going to do the same thing you did before. You're going to fold these 2 in half and then each side in half again down to the center fold. And we're going to trim these off because they're too long. Okay, so here's the notepad. And I'll show you what I mean. They're too long. And we want to trim them back so they don't bind up the folds. So I'm going to cut off, like just leave a little bit on each side. Okay, as long as it's a little bit longer than your paper, it'll work. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to punch the holes. So I'm going to use Crocodile and sort of guess about where I want them to be, and then try to put it in the same place. And then I'm going to use the same twine. Let's see. And tie it in a bow, trim it off. Hopefully yours lays better than mine. Oh my goodness. Oh well. Okay, so then the other one, get your paper lined up straight as you can. Let's see. And in theory, this is refillable because you could untie the string and put more paper in it if you ever wanted to do that. Okay, so there's your two pads. And these will glue on the inside of your two panels like that. And you want to get them as far to the outside so they don't bind your fold up. So get them as close to that edge as you can. Kind of center it top to bottom and then get it all the way over to the edge as best you can. Press it down. Oh, you know what? Oh, I haven't put, didn't I put that panel on? Oh, I didn't put my pocket on. Oh, good, good girl. That's really the best way. That way you're not going to get it upside down, hopefully. We still have to glue our pocket on that. This is the third set I've made, and I think I make them all in different order, but you get the idea. Okay, so this, I'm trying to line up sort of kind of similar to that one. Glue that in. You can decide if you want to put more washi tape. I think I'm going to washi tape these before I put that pocket on. We'll see if that's a mistake or not. And the other side. And I'm going to fold this just for a little bit. And I kind of want to fold these. Yeah. You want to get those folded while your tape is still sort of wet. Otherwise, when you fold it, it might pop loose like that just did. And make a little line there. So what I'm going to do is take a pencil, just because the white will stand out. I'm just going to kind of rub over that with my pencil. You could use colored pencils if you really wanted to take care of it, but that way it makes the white just go away. And I kind of think I really kind of like this washi tape. I wonder if I can I should have done that before I glued my pads on. Oh well, I don't like to do things the easy way. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on this side. Let's see if I can get it to... So, what did we learn? We learned that this needed to happen before the pad goes down. So I'm going to attempt to force it under that pad. And then that will go over that. And I can turn the tape off at the top. And I guess if I'm going to do that edge, I need to do this edge, right? So the same kind of finagling over here. Pull this up just a little bit. Ooh, that didn't want to come up. Oh gosh. Yeah, don't do this at home. Do it the right way. Put your tape on the edges first. Okay. Okay. All right. Nobody will ever know, right? Trim the tape off the edge. Okay. And there it is. And you can put your, uh-oh, yeah. Did you watch me do that and think, she's gonna regret that? Let's see, let me think for a second. Because what I did is I taped my pocket shut. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Don't tape your pocket shut. Okay, so there's me pocket. Okay. And I don't like the way the tissue box looks in there, actually. So I'm kind of tempted to tape that. I wonder if I can get away with that. I wonder if I can get away with that. Yikes. Okay, I think I'm going to try because I don't like the way that Kleenex box looks. So again, I should have taped this before I tried to put the pocket on the back. So if nothing else though, when you watch me do stuff, I would guess it's kind of like, well, If she can do it, I surely can do it. Okay. All right. Tuck that under there. All right, I think I got away with it. Probably not the best way to go about it, but it is done. And then you want to fold it, because then the washi tape doesn't like to go around the edge unless it's folded. Okay, so there's your pocket. Now we're going to glue. Okay, let me make sure I got the top up. Yeah, this is the top. So I can glue the pocket to the bottom. Good grief. I can glue that down on there. And then we're almost finished. Okay. And if you wanted to give this for a gift and you wanted to give them a gift card, this would be a nice place to tuck a gift card in. And then you tie it shut with a ribbon, or I'm going to stay with this twine idea. Hopefully you could tie it tighter than that, but anyway, there it is, finished. And there's the back, the pocket. Open it up, there's his reading of the Bible and his notepad, and hopefully a picture of you and the family or the dog or somebody. All done. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Sorry for all the mistakes. When you make yours, don't make any mistakes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.